Before I begin today's video, I'm going to need you guys to go and hit that subscribe button. Thank you.
What is up, everybody? You already know who it is. It's your boy, Mucho, and I'm back today with a new video from the Holy Scripture. I must confess, since I'm holding the Bible in my hands, I must speak the truth. I'm a few days behind on my readings. I'm not gonna lie. I really am. I got a new work schedule, and it's kind of hard to keep up with it, and it's got me exhausted. So I spend most of my time at work and sleeping right now. I'm just trying to build this new consistency up, and just trying to, work with my new schedule. So with this new schedule, I gotta I gotta fix all my habits up. I gotta readjust my whole life. But yeah. Anyways, so let's begin. February 9th, day 39, I believe. Today, we're going to be covering numbers 16 to 20. 16 to 20. Let us begin. Challenge to leadership. Postponement of the advance into Canaan and defeat by the foreign armies has a calamitous effect on the Israelis. In the next 40 years, they will become bitter, quarrelsome, and openly rebellious. Trouble reaches a peak when Korah himself, a Levite, and two men of the tribe of Reuben lead 250 others in what amounts to a mutiny. After they are miraculously destroyed for their rebellion, thousands of the other Israelis who stand in sympathy with them are also stricken by plague and die. The issue is not simply one of political leadership, despite what might have been secure conviction on Korah's part. This is an assault against God's chosen priesthood. To make his selection of Aaron as priest perfectly clear, God directs Moses to perform a test involving a collection of rods from each tribe. Only Aaron's rod proves to be God's choice. To further instruct the Israelis regarding the proper position of the priesthood, the Levites who serve with them, God declares that the priests and the Levites will have no inheritance in the promised land, but will rather be supported through the practice of thinning. Leadership challenge. Korah, son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and certain Reubenites, Dathan and Abram, sons of Eliab, and On, son of Kalah, become insultant and rose up against Moses. With them were 250 Israeli men, well-known community leaders who have been appointed members of the council. They came as a group to oppose Moses and Aaron and said to them, "You have gone too far. To the whole community is holy, every one of them, and the Lord is with them. Why then do you set yourselves above the Lord's assembly?" Moses proposes test. When Moses heard this, he fell down. Then he said to Korah and his followers, "In the morning the Lord will show who belongs to him and who is holy, and he will have that person come near him. The men he chooses he will cause to come near him. You, Korah, and your followers are to do this. Take censers, and tomorrow put burning coals and incense in them before the Lord. The men the Lord chooses will be the one who is holy. You, Levites, have gone too far." Moses rebukes Korah. Moses also said to Korah, "Now listen, you Levites, isn't it enough for you that God of Israel has separated you from the rest of the Israeli community and brought you near himself to do work at the Lord's tabernacle and to stand before the community and minister to them? He has brought you and your fellow Levites near himself, but now you are trying to get the priesthood too. It is against the Lord that you and your followers have banded together. Who is Aaron that you should grumble against him?" Moses taunted. Then Moses summoned Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eli, but they said, "We will not come. Isn't it enough that you have brought us up out of the land flowing with milk and honey to kill us in the wilderness? And now you also want to lord it over us? Moreover, you haven't brought us into the land flowing with milk and honey, or given us an inheritance of fields or vineyards. Do you want to treat these men like slaves? No, we will not come." Censers brought. Then Moses became very angry and said to the Lord, "Do not accept their offerings. I have not taken so much as a donkey from them, nor have I wronged any of them." Moses said to Korah, "You and your followers are to appear before the Lord tomorrow. You and they and Aaron, each man is to take his censer and put incense in it, 250 censers in all, and present it before the Lord. You and Aaron are to present your censers also." So each of them took his censer, put burning coals and incense in it, and stood with Moses, and took his censer, and put burning coals and incense in it, and stood with Moses and Aaron at the entrance of the tent of meeting. When Korah had gathered in all his followers in opposition to them at the entrance to the tent of meeting, the glory of the Lord appeared at the entire assembly. People separated from rebels. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Separate yourselves from the assembly so I can put an end to them at once." But Moses and Aaron fell face down and cried out, "O Lord, the God who gave us breath to all living things, you will be angry with the entire assembly when only one man sins?" Then the Lord said to Moses, "Say to the assembly, move away from the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram." Moses got up and went to Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. He warned the assembly, "Move back from the tents of these wicked men. Do not touch anything belonging to them, or you will be swept away because of their sins." Moses predicts death. So they moved away from the tents of Korah, Dathan and Abiram. Dathan and Abiram had come out and were standing with their wives, children, and little ones at the entrance to their tents. Then Moses said, "This is how you will know the Lord has sent me to do all these things, and that it was not my idea. All these men die in a natural death and suffer the fate of all mankind. Then the Lord has not sent me. But if the Lord brings about something totally new, and the earth opens its mouth and then swallows them with everything that belongs to them, and they go down alive into a realm of the dead, then you will know that these men have treated the Lord with contempt." Rebel swallowed up. As soon as he finishes saying all this, the ground under them split apart, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them and their households, and all those associated with Korah, together with their possessions. They went down alive into the realm of the dead, with everything they owned. The earth closed over them, and they perished and were gone from the community. At their cries, all the Israelis around them fled, shouting, The earth is going to swallow us too. The fire came out from the Lord and consumed the 250 men who were offering the incense. Censers become altar cover. The Lord said to Moses, Tell Eleazar, son of Aaron, the priest, to remove the censers from the Shared remains and scatter the coils some distance away, for the censers are holy, the censers of the men who sinned at the cost of their lives. Hammer the censers into sheets to overlay the altar, for they were presented before the Lord and have become holy. Let them be a sign to the Israelis. So Eleazar the priest collected the bronze censers brought by those who had been burned to death. He had them hammered out to overlay the altar, as the Lord directed him through Moses. This was to remind the Israelis that no one except a descendant of Aaron should come burn incense before the Lord, or he would become like Korah and his followers. God ready to punish. The next day, the whole Israeli community grumbled against Moses and Aaron. You have killed the Lord's people, they said. But when the assembly gathered in opposition to Moses and Aaron and turned toward the tent of meeting, suddenly the cloud covered it, and the glory of the Lord appeared. Then Moses and Aaron went to the front of the tent of meeting, and the Lord said to Moses, Get away from this assembly so I can put an end to them at once. They fell face down. 14,700 died of plague. Then Moses said to Aaron, Take your censer and put incense in it, along with the burning coals from the altar, and hurry to the assembly to make an atonement for them. Wrath has come out from the Lord. The plague has started. So Aaron did as Moses said, and ran into the midst of the assembly. The plague had already started among the people, but Aaron offered the incense and made an atonement for them. He stood between the living and the dead. The plague stopped, but 14,700 people died from the plague, in addition to those who had died because of Korah. Then Aaron returned to Moses at the entrance of the tent of meeting, for the plague had stopped. God calls for staffs. The Lord said to Moses, Speak to the Israelis and get 12 staffs from them, one from the leader of each of their ancestral tribes. Write the names of each man on his staff. On the staff of Levi, write Aaron's name, for there must be one staff for the head of each ancestral tribe. Place them in the tent of meeting in front of the ark of the covenant law, where I meet with you. The staff belonging to the man I choose will sprout. I will get rid of myself of this constant grumbling against you by the Israelis. So Moses spoke to the Israelis, and their leaders gave him 12 staffs, one for the leader of each of their ancestral tribes, and Aaron's staff was among them. Moses placed the staffs before the Lord in the tent of the covenant law. Only Aaron's staff buds. The next day Moses entered the tent and saw that Aaron's staff was represented the tribe of Levi, had not only sprouted, but had budded, blossomed, and produced almonds. Then Moses brought out all the staffs from the Lord's presence to all the Israelis. They looked at them, and each of the leaders took his own staff. The Lord said to Moses, Put back Aaron's staff in front of the ark to the covenant law, to be kept as a sign to the rebellious. This will put an end to their grumbling against me, so that they will not die. Moses did just as the Lord commanded him. The people fear. The Israelis said to Moses, We will die. We are lost. We are lost. Anyone who even comes near the tabernacle of the Lord will die. Are we going to die? Aaron's priesthood assured. The Lord said to Aaron, You and your sons and your family are to bear the responsibility for offenses connected with the sanctuary, and you and your sons alone are to bear the responsibility for offenses connected with the priesthood. Bring your fellow Levites from your ancestral tribes to join you in the assets you and assist you when you and your sons minister before the tent of the covenant law. They are to be responsible to you and are to perform duties of the tent. But they must not go near the furnishings of the sanctuary or the altar. Otherwise, both they and you will die. They are to join you and be responsible for the care of the tent of meeting, all the work at the tent. And no one else may come near where you are. You are to be responsible for the care of the sanctuary and the altar, so that my wrath will not fall on the Israelis again. I myself have selected you, your fellow Levites, from among the Israelis as a gift to you, dedicated to the Lord to do the work at the tent of meeting. But you and your sons may serve as priests and connected with everything at the altar. And inside the curtain, I am giving you the service of the priesthood as a gift. Anyone else who comes near the sanctuary is to be put to death. Offerings belong to priests. Then the Lord said to Aaron, I myself have put you in charge of the offerings presented to me. All the holy offerings the Israelis give me, I give to you and your sons as your portion, your perpetual share. You are to have the part of the most holy offerings that is kept from the fire. From all the gifts they bring me as the most holy offerings, whether grain or sin or guilt offerings, that part belongs to you and your sons. Eat it as something most holy. Every male shall eat it. You must regard it as holy. This also is yours. Whatever is set aside from the gifts of all the wave offerings of the Israelis, I give this to you and your sons and daughters as a perpetual share. Everyone in your household who is ceremonially clean may eat it. I give to you all the finest olive oil and all the finest new wine and grain that they give the Lord as the first fruits of their harvest. All the land's first fruits that they bring to the Lord will be yours. Everyone in your household who is ceremonially clean may eat it. Everything in Israel that is devoted to the Lord is yours. The first offspring of every womb, both human and animal, that is offered to the Lord is yours. But you must redeem every firstborn son and every firstborn male of unclean animals. When they are a month old, you must redeem them at the redemption price and set 5 shekels of silver accordingly to their shekel sanctuary, which weighs 20 garas. But you must not redeem the firstborn of a cow, sheep, or goat. They are holy. Splash their blood against the altar and burn their fat as a food offering, an aroma pleasing to the Lord. Their meat is to be yours, just the breast of the wave offering and the right thigh are yours. Whether it is set aside for the holy offerings the Israelis present to the Lord, I give to you and your sons and daughters as a perpetual share. It is everlasting covenant of salt before the Lord for both you and your offspring. Aaron to have no land. The Lord said to Aaron, you will have no inheritance in their land, nor will you have any share among them. I am your share, and I am your inheritance among the Israelis. Levites get tithes. I give the Levites all the tithes in Israel and their inheritance in return for their work they will do while serving at the tent of meeting. From now on, the Israelis must not go near the tent of meeting, or they will bear the consequences of their sin and will die. It is the Levites who are to do the work at the tent of meeting and bear the responsibility of any offense they commit against it. This is the last ordinance for the generations to come. They will receive no inheritance among the Israelis. Instead, I will give the Levites as their inheritance the tithes that the Israelis present as an offering to the Lord. That is why I am said consecrating them. They will have no inheritance among the Israelis. Levites to give to tithes. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Levites and say to them, when you receive from the Israelis the tithe I give you as your inheritance, you must present the tenth of the tithe as the Lord's offering. Your offering will be reckoned to you as a grain from the threshing floor or juice from the wine press. In this way you also will present an offering to the Lord from all the tithes you receive from the Israelis. From these tithes you must give the Lord's portion to Aaron the priest. You must present to the Lord's portion the best and holiest part of everything given to you. Say to the Levites, when you present the best part, it will be reckoned to you as the product of the threshing floor or winepress. You and your household may eat the rest of it anywhere, for it is your wages for your work at the tent of meeting. By presenting the best part of it, you will not be guilty in this matter. Then you will not defile the holy offerings of the Israelis, and you will not die." And that, ladies and gentlemen, was today's reading. Let's do a quick reflection. So, from what I got from today, alright, so, when I started reading, I guess there was a rebellion going on. So, people were rebelling pretty much against Moses and Aaron. They weren't feeling what was going on. They felt like they since they weren't given the Holy Land and having all that milk and honey that they were so-called promised, they went up to Aaron and Moses and they're like, "Yeah, look, we're not having this." And that upset Moses, and Moses said, "Don't accept anything from these people." And sure enough, God came through and he took them out. He took out all the people that rebelled against Moses and Aaron, and because going against them is going against God. And from there, they had to choose a whole new priesthood, and they had to get 12 new staff. Is what I got from it. And out of all those staffs, God was going to pick one, and it turned out to be Aaron's. Aaron was honestly the most holy one and trusted that the Lord has put his faith in mostly. But yeah, that's what I got from today's reading. It's not the best explanation, but I tried. But yeah, that's it. I'm done. So you already know who it is. It's your boy, Mucho. And it's time for me to what? Skedaddle on out of here. Peace.